back here inside the Safe Credit Union Convention Center in Sacramento, California. Heidi getting started right off the bat with a 742 to kick off losers semifinals. Heidi versus Anto Kam coming into losers semifinals. Couple of classmates at UC Berkeley.
Yeah, and Anto's sticking around for an extra year to finish his master's program. He's going to be not running the Q Club, but still being very much involved still.
Anto already on M slices. A 931 though. Heidi's going to take solve number 1.
And again, Heidi not having that much time to sit down, so she might, at this point, we'll have to see if she still has the momentum or if she's burned herself out by competing so much.
Heidi going for her second solve. She's up 1 solve, nothing currently. Trying to rotate it so it can best solve it the best she can. Here she goes. Going in the last layer, very smooth turning, 839 for Heidi.
Rotating before she starts the time a lot. It happens sometimes where you know what the best solution is to start, but you have to figure out what angle is the best to execute it from. And it looks like she actually chose the right angle. She executed pretty well, but a bit of a fumble there at the end.
All right, now we have Anto trying to beat an 839 to get back into this one. Very methodical to start off, has to get to those M slices quickly. He does and puts it down with a 721. Anto ties it up 1 solve apiece.
That was an extremely efficient first block and didn't really pause at all going into any of his last steps. Anto is solving extremely well ever since his first round.
See if he can continue that pace here. Here goes Heidi, solve number 3 in set number 1 of losers semis. Best of 3 in this losers semifinals. She'll put it down with a 767. Getting
Looks
a look
like
at
it's
the
a +2.
overhead. Yes, it looks like it is a +2. So a 967 single for Heidi. Doors open for Anto. Anto looking to go up his first lead in the losers semifinals. What can he do here? Big pause as he tries to finish that second block. Puts it down with a 964 as she's up in the solves right now, 2-1. Such smooth and quick turning from Heidi. A 749, much better from Heidi.
Yeah, that was very fast and quick turning. Putting a lot of pressure on Anto here. We've seen him get 6-second solves, but we've also seen him get 10-second solves when he needed to get a 9-second solve. So let's see how he can do here.
Anto has to try and beat a low 7 here. Going much more quicker as he gets to those M slices. A 714, he does just that. Here goes Anto. Start things out with solve number 1 of set number 2. And here he goes. A little methodical to start out, trying to get that second block. Here comes the M slices, puts it down with an 884.
It was really clean last 6 edges on the M slices there. And Anto winning the first set means that he wins the set that he's going second, and so there is a lot of pressure on Heidi because now she knows exactly what she needs to beat in order to win every solve in this set.
It's just been so incredible to watch. Varun's best time earlier today was a 592. Nobody has been able to beat that so far. Again, that gives you another case for Varun. He enters as the second seed, but he very well could be considered the top overall seed in this competition.
Yeah, and by the time we see them again, Varun and Ethan will have been sitting for quite a while, while Heidi seems to have been competing pretty consistently here, and she's been putting down incredible times.
Such a quick inspection for Heidi as she goes into last layer, a 7:46 for Heidi. She takes solve number 1.
And that was a great last slot and last layer to finish. You can see right here she's able to skip OLL by using a winter variation and puts it down with very clean execution of the V-perm.
That's a good way to respond for Heidi after that technicality. Anto up 1-0, but good for Heidi to get momentum taking the first solve. Now here comes Anto up again. Looking to get that second block, he does. Here comes the M Slices, finishes with an 878. Another high 8 from Anto.
And it looks like he had to peek at the bottom of the cube there to see what color that final edge was. That always wastes precious time, especially for the top root users. They'll just fly through the end.
Here comes Heidi, has to beat an 878 to try and go up 2 solves to none. Bit of a pause there going into last layer, puts it down with a 764. Heidi claims solve number 2.
And she's in the driver's seat now with knowing what Anto is going to get. She finishes off with a ZBLL, something that we'd expect to see from Ethan. And this specific case actually holds a very dear place in my heart, as it was the same case that I used to get my first sub-5 single in competition.
Would that have been your current PR single as of right now, Chris?
No, I beat it a few years later at the first competition I competed in after COVID, but at 475.
That's
but
right.
I have not
That
beat
was the
475 since.
There we see Anto getting a 970. It's always so good, Chris, even when you're as a cuber in the WCA, even the PSL, to beat your own personal best, beat your own personal record, single or average. It just gives you such a confidence boost that, hey, I can do this.
Yeah, and it can motivate you to go to another WCA competition. I mean, we saw Dylan get, I believe it was a 349, and that's just exhilarating to do that, especially in this environment. Let's see how Heidi does.
Very well done from Heidi, a 697. She'll take set number 2. It's tied up 1-1.
And a clean sweep of that set. It's tied 1-1. We're going into the final set. And once again, Heidi is going to start here. So Anto is going to need to know what he's going to need to be in for each solve.
Heidi bringing out the broom on that one for a clean sweep. It's tied up 1-1. It's been very close matches in a PSL Sacramento. Heidi looking to continue that momentum. And again, we talk about the momentum side of things for Heidi, Chris. She's been going up for now 3 rounds in a row, back to back to back. It's every solve that you get, it's more reps to contribute to that momentum, and Heidi is showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, and on top of the rounds, I mean, she finished the last set, and now she's going to be starting in the last set, and so you can see herself, I mean, she's sitting in the spot where she's going to be competing. She's just immersing herself in the environment, and I think that's been her biggest advantage, that she doesn't really have control of during the competition, but it's coming around to help her out.
Heidi again taking an extra beat just to warm up really quickly. Use the towel to wipe off her hands. And here she goes with the inspection. Fresh slate, tied 1-1. Very quick inspection from Heidi. Here she goes. Going in the last layer relatively fluidly. 764 for Heidi. That's a good start.
That is a good start, and even for a solve that seems like she's not turning out her best, she's able to put down a mid-6. That's always a nice luxury to have. She does hesitate a little bit before she gets into the Ola, but that's really it.
Yeah, other than that little moment of hesitation, not too much otherwise to say about Heidi's solve. Very well done. Here comes Anto. looking to take the first solve in this next set. Can he do just that? 738, he does!
And now the pressure goes back onto Heidi because I think that's a solve that she expects to win, and now she can't really afford to lose any more solves, otherwise she's in danger of losing the entire match.
Fasten your seatbelt, folks. This is a tight one here going into this. Here's another quick inspection from Heidi. Off she goes. A little bit of a pause there as she goes into last layer. 761.
Like we said, just the consistency. She had a really good start and then is able to get the rest of the F2 well done. And again, this is maybe her fourth time with getting really bad last layer cases, but she's still able to get a 7.6.
What a moment this would be for Anto if he were to beat 761. Looking to finish that second block. Here comes the M slices, and he puts it down. Oh, 756 with the +2. Heidi takes it. We're tied at one solve.
And the M slice being off actually turns it into a DNF. It's 2 outer turns away from being solved, and that's kind of the risk that you run when you use Ru. When you're using so many of those M slices, your last move is going to be a slice oftentimes, and you can miss it, and instead of getting a +2 for CFOP or ZB users, it results in a DNF, and that's just kind of the package that you get when you use Ru.
Heidi back up right away. And yes, it is first to 2 sets in losers semifinals, so it is coming down to the wire. Heidi with 2 7-second solves. What can she do here? Going into last layer, 747, another 7-second solve. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Just incredible consistency. It looked like there was something interesting going on. Yeah, she used a very interesting solution for her second or third F2L pair. I thought she had messed up, but that was exactly what she wanted to do.
Here goes Anto. Has to beat a 747. Big pause there trying to get the second block. This isn't going to do it. A 967 for Anto. Heidi takes solve number 3. She's up 2-1.
An opportunity now for her to win the match up 2-1, and she has a bit of breathing room. She can let it fly here and see if she can just put down a time to completely put Anto's hopes away.
What a moment this would be. Anto up 1-0 on the technicality. Heidi fighting from behind with everything she has, and here she goes into the next solve. Very fluid turning, going into last layer. A 793. Judge says it's okay. A 793 it is.
And Heidi being a white cross only solver, it didn't look like white had a very good start at all. And I was saying earlier that she uses a different algorithm for the final step than what we saw people mess up in Worlds. But she decides to go with the old-fashioned algorithm here. She messed it up a little bit, but 793.
Match point for Anto. Can he stay alive? Has to beat a 793. Finishing those first 2 blocks, going into the M slices. It's not going to do it. A 983. Heidi's moving on to losers finals.
Anto knew the solve was over. It seemed like 2 seconds into the solve, and at this level, 7s, when you're putting down 7s, one mistake, one big mistake, and it's going to be over.